becomes, are we going to be looking at a lane swap? And the thing is both of these teams, LGD actually lane swap more than Vici Gaming do.
Well, interesting to see if they go for it now, but I would power up Imp as well. I can kind of see what they're going for. Down to Champ Select though. Vici, of course, that is not a typo, and you have not missed a game. Welcome to the playoffs. We're going to start with our first best of 5. Vici, though, do start with a 1-game advantage in the best of 5 due to the fact that they were the higher seed in their group, and the bans are almost done. Sivir, Echo, and Azir for Vici, where Ryze, Alistar, and Poppy will follow for LGD. So mid lane bans everywhere.
Yeah, and reminder, that beautiful man in the yellow jacket behind Vici is going to be Home, the coach. He'll be facing across from Heart. So there is a lot of, Marn versus Easyhoon, Home versus Heart. It's just incestuous.
There are going to be some strong Korean players doing battle either on or off the Rift here, as Braum is the first pick for Vici overall. Going to take the nice solid support. Braum is his stock just keeps rising, it feels like.
Yeah, I would actually like to see the rise of Morgana in China, particularly just because Braum is so potent and powerful. We saw a lot of Morgana throughout the NA LCS. She acts as a beautiful counter to him. That said, China historically has never played Morgana.
Nope.
The only time
not in support.
Yes, the only time they really picked her up was after they were demolished by her at All-Stars, I believe in 2014. Oof. And then immediately following, because Cloud9 just pretty much put OMG in the ground with Morgana support, they came back and were instantly playing
Hey, this is pretty good. Well, we'll see if they adapt here, but 10 seconds or so for LGD to lock in these picks. Dandy has plenty of junglers open, so do pick the support as well, but you can see Amy going to see if you can't steal away Kindred. I think you have to take a strong jungler here. They'll take the Kindred and they'll pair it with Lucian, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Vici didn't prioritize a jungle in a first rotation anyway. The thing about Caveman is he's a phenomenal support player in general. I don't think he needs Rom or Alistar to be successful. But with Nidalee and Kindred both available, this is what I was trying to set up and allude to.
Dandy just doesn't mind. He can pick a jungler wherever he wants to. Give Amy Kindred. Take Graves, take Lulu.
He actually takes Graves. Okay, so Nidalee on 6.6, Rusty explains this very well. I'm sure we'll hear it later on in the Invictus Gaming versus Snake series. Nidalee has the fastest clear time in the game right now. It's actually absurd, and as Rusty likes to put it, she should be pick or banned every single game.
There was, I believe, MLXG had a recent game on 6.6 Nidalee and went crazy.
Yep, it's
so
ridiculous.
We've seen it already. Dandy defaulting to the Graves. Maybe a flex for Lung. There is some wiggle room there, but have to think that easy hit on Lulu is also nice for Vici, so good setup early here for their first 3 picks. LGD, though, do need to make a few more decisions. Never really know what's going to happen with the LGD picks and bans, but we'll just sit and relax.
I feel like LGD's players just fall back onto comfort picks, which is PYL picking up the Thresh. I mean, the last time we saw him, he literally flashed over Raptor Camp and quickly chain CC'd some poor mid laner.
Well, if we can maybe get the roam on again, because his playmaking has looked good. There is the Thresh. Love to see it. And Corki actually looks like a mid lane because they already have Lucian locked in. Unless Maran's gone Huni style with the Lucian top. Looks like we've got 280 carries. Wayless already picked up his champion. And Endless is like, all right, I guess I'll take Kalista. That's bold into Imp, I will say.
Yep. But we expect this from Endless. Again, if we're talking about an effective champion pool, Kalista is pretty much the only answer for him. Plays a decent Lucian, but his comfort is he needs the power.
I have liked his Lucian, but Imp identifies that, takes it away. Imp is also a fantastic Lucian player. So plenty to work for there on the LGD side. Looks like Vici need a top laner, though. So Dandy is going to take that Graves over the potential Nidalee, curiously enough. Looks like Lung might just be on tank duty for this game. But they've actually given Marin the counter pick, which is kind of cool. So Marin, very good laner, very good player in general. See what he has in store for this potential Maokai. Vici, though, not done with their draft. Taking their time with this pick, wanting to make sure they've got everything locked in. It's all set up. Their coach Rom is happy.
See, I always love Maokai, especially because you're also picking him into the likes of Corki, who he's going to help mitigate a lot of that mixed damage. But the scary thing is Maokai, he doesn't necessarily win 1v1 lane matchups. I know. I see you smiling as the rumble is being hovered. He just neutralizes lanes. So Marn pretty much has the pick of the litter, knowing that I'm just going into a Maokai lane. I'm probably going to get ridiculous amounts of farm. In fact, in a lot of 1v1 matchups, I could probably get the edge here and just win the lane outright. Yep. And against Marn, that's terrifying.
And Rumble would be great. It is a counter, but... And Martin's an excellent Rumble player, but I think even something like Dinar, which he has shown up on, and one of the few top laners in the LPL to still play it and make it look amazing, I feel like he can get enough initiative in that top lane 1v1 while still contributing to the team, because his teleports have been absolutely immaculate recently, and that's been a big factor to their success. So no matter what Marin takes here, I think it's going to be fine. but it looks like he might just fall back to the Gnar. LGD, in fact, Vici as well, can have pretty similar looking team comps here. We've seen a lot of this from both of these sides recently.
And a lot of power going into their individual lanes. Again, the thing to note about LGD is every single lane plays forward, plays aggressively. They like to make sure that they have just 2v2, 1v1, I can take you on. They're not going to play for scaling or anything like that. They just want to come out swinging. Now, what this means is that this opens them up for ganks, which is why it's incredibly important that Amy is on point, especially against the likes of Dandy, because Dandy is one of the few junglers in the LPL that will punish over-aggression.
Yep, and Dandy's been on point recently. We'll see how he does here in this first game here. Remember, only a maximum of 4 possible games due to Vici having one up already. Vici, of course, only need 2 games. LGD will need to win 3 here in order to advance to the next round. Fearsome opponents on the other side, but we're going to get into our first game here, our second game overall, depending on how you want to think about it. Your team comes back on the screen. I like it. Easyhoon Lulu, though, could be scary.
The thing that you need to understand is that Easyhoon will build his Lulu and itemize for damage. He wants to be a secondary carry. He's not there to support Endless. Endless picks the Kalista because he needs to compensate for his weak laning phase, and so he needs a champion like Kalista, like Lucian.
Yep.
And the Ezreal, not so much.
No, unfortunately. He's off the Ezreal tier list, I believe. Not allowed to play it, at least recently. The LGD, they've just been on such a tear. Vici just squeezed through. Coaches will shake hands. They've known each other for a while. Looks like there are a few smiles cracked there. But let's get into Game 1 of playoffs. And here we are for the first game of playoffs. Vici and LGD are going to play their first actual game of this best of 5. Once again, Vici, that is not a typo. They do start a game up here in the BO5. So only 4 games potentially to play. We'll see if LGD can answer back. And even that score up, or if Vici can put themselves very close to a next round appearance. Playoffs, always an exciting time. And the playoff power-up is usually very real for LGD.
You have to think they are, what, 7 winning series?
Yep.
Yep, so LGD are on a 7-series win streak right now. That is absolutely terrifying, as the Keystone match trees will pop up on the bottom of your screen. A lot of battle,
yep.
No warlords.
So much battle here for LGD.
So much battle.
Seems to fit their laners, I think. The fervor is strong. Looks like pretty standard stuff on the other side for Vici, though.
Lane swap being initiated here from LGD, and again, this is what we were talking about. Vici actually have a lower chance to lane swap than LGD. LGD used to have one of the most refined and engineered lane swaps back in 2015. This, of course, had to adjust, bringing in Marn, the differences between him and Acorn, but they've gotten better at it, although it will be matched by Vici in the end.
Yep, actually going to spot them up there and look for a 2v2. So we will have inverted standard lanes as Vici and Endless and Caveman are going to hang out on the Grump.
See, here's the thing, though. I actually really like that LGD would get a lane swap. Of course, in this time, it's just going to be what we like to call the Australian standard lanes.
Because they're upside down, guys.
He's got it. Good job, pastry time. But the reason why is, yes, Imp and PYL are incredible 2v2 laners. They have very powerful champions. Thresh is... I mean, people forget about Thresh. It's always like, oh, the Braum, the Alistar. But in a straight 2v2, Thresh is going to win. It's range support versus a melee support. But in a... lane swap scenario, it unlocks PYL on this Thresh, and that's when things really get crazy.
And this is the thing that people don't appreciate about him, is you can kind of see some of the fight there. Good little trade back and forth. Imp level 2 early, but Endless now hits it. Caveman still a little low on level 1. But Imp will fight anyone. 2v2, 1v1. Imp is more than happy to take you on.
Oh.
Good hook. Caveman flayed back. Just some damage as the door goes up. He's going to get the Q back there in onto PYL, but he does dodge concussive blows. LGD, again, more than happy to fight at every opportunity. Yep,
and we'll see them try to take control of this creep wave and start to push forward, because that's typically going to be the MO of LGD, pushing forward in all lanes, although in the mid lane, Easyhoon actually doing a great job keeping Wayless locked in Lulu, using that lane bully ability.
Yep, Wayless, though, able to see us pretty easily thanks to Koki's passive, but the Hoon definitely keeping pressure up early. Wants to get this man in a bit of a better spot, as they will pass.
Ships passing in the night. Ping goes top. Here comes Amy.
This could be problems. Vinci's dual lane very far extended.
He still has
PYL
Death Sentence.
lining it up. Does get the hook in there. And now Amy's on the other side. He's going to try and lock down Endless as Amy gets exhausted. TP in for Vinci as they still really want it. Amy does leap forward. Needs an auto. Will get the first blood as PYL will flash out of the situation. But 3v4 as PYL is going to be left out to dry. Dandy takes him out on Imp. He has to bail, but I think he's not going to make it out either. They're going to keep locking them down. Lung's going to take out Amy and Imp. He will die. Dandy gets a double.
A 3-for-1 trade for LGD. Marn has TP. He doesn't pull the trigger on it. Summoner spells were burned, so LGD knew we're going all in. We see the TP, we're ignoring it. I don't know if this is a miscommunication. Marn not coming. Whoa? I guess they're just lane swapping now. Back to standard lanes.
Sure. I mean, I guess could have used it earlier if he wanted to swap. Lung actually going to get locked down here. Marn might even be able to chase for a bit of extra damage. Lung, no flash could be a problem. Marn going to flash in for it. Hyper going to proc once again, and Lung, he needs a few more autos. Megan are almost there. Could be problems, and he's not quite in range.
Doesn't have enough.
Stubby little arms getting in the way.
Because he burned the flash initially. Wow. It would have been so much better if he picked up the farm, all that solo experience, and then comes top and picks up the kill. But statement still stands. Vici went out on that initial trade just because Marn failed to initiate teleport alongside Long.
Such a strange thing to see. Like I mentioned, Marn's teleports recently have been absolutely excellent. He will get a lot of time in this wave, though. He knows Long doesn't have TP, so he is going to deny a wave back in. And it is kind of weird to see, but we have to swap back for the 2v2.
Well, in a recent interview, LGD did say that their calls come from Marn, Amy, as well as PYL. So I'm assuming because Amy and PYL were in that call, it should have been don't TP, we're fine.
What? I have to think so. Hook not going to land there onto Endless as Imp. Going to try and clear this wave out. Looks like there's no massive item discrepancy just yet because Endless only got 2 assists, but Dandy actually the one that reaps the biggest benefit. Getting 2 kills from the jungle. We'll see if he can convert that into additional pressure. As EasyHoon going to make his way back and just farm things out under turret. Looks like Koki's going back as well.
I mean, effectively, you are right. Dandy did pick up those 2 kills, but it's traded for the CS discrepancy onto Marn, which I'm still going to give that to Dandy, but that's where these 2 teams weighted it. We got extra power onto Marn. Of course, he burned his flash, wasn't able to pick up the kill, or we have extra power onto Dandy, which actually this is where both these teams have weighted their win conditions.
Makes sense. As Long has actually caught up nicely. Did get a kill also, so probably not too unhappy at this point. I like the early swiftness boots, because Nas slow is pretty annoying. And if Mara can't keep bullying this lane, looks like he is going to go Phage first for some sort of aggression. We'll see how deep he goes on the potential dueling build. But Marin, we've seen his Nard just do so much work time and time again, as Dandy can move his way up the river, take out the Scuttle Crab, and Amy might even take a visit top lane as well.
Should be noted that Long's TP is down, so there is still some kill pressure on this Maokai while he only has a Doran's ring.
Oh, Marin actually going to get aggressed on, but Dandy's going to find Amy. I think they both just saw each other, though. Oh, no, Amy didn't. Dandy going to move in for it. Now they're going to collapse in on him. No ulti there for the Kindred. Dandy, this does too much damage. Needs a few more autos. Dandy moves in, and Long snipes one with a sapling.
I was going to say he might be able to get out just because Long wouldn't have the Twisted Advance available. They're looking for the dive, though. Here comes EasyHoon and Dandy from behind tower.
This is problems. EasyHoon is level 6. He's got the ulti and the flash. Marin is about to hit Mega. So extra stats going to be very beneficial here, but they are going to move in for it anyway. Marin does have the ulti. He needs to line this up perfectly, but he gets polymorphed away, trying to move in for it. Flashes him, gets him into the wall, but Marin, he just can't quite make the trade. The ulti's out to save Long.
So unlucky for Marin. The tower aggro wasn't there to assist him, and here comes Wayless.
Straight in the top lane, but he's just going to die for it. They'll re-dive again. Dandy going to look for it. They're not enough damage. The sapling snipe once again. But they're going to speed him in. He's got a shield. He needs to keep moving. The sapling's there. He just couldn't get away.
4-0 right now for this Maokai. Long is just dunking LGD.
And that's thanks to some good help from EasyHoon and Dandy. Seems like the formula's still in place. And we check back in the bottom lane. Sure, 10 CS up for him. Not a good time, even though Endless does have some assists. But the right half of the map is winning for Vici.
PYL to the rest of the team. Guys, what's happening up there?
Well, we'll see what happens as it develops, because LGD's bottom lane always finds himself in a position of power. But really smart play from Vici early on, and Dandy starting to put on a show early into this playoff game.
But this is also what we expect. We knew that the top side of the map was going to be the contested side for Vici. Typically, Dandy does pop down to Endless and Brahms lane, which is exactly what he did. Level 1, first thing he ganks, he goes to the top lane, make sure that that lane's neutralized and ahead. Now that Long got the TP advantage there, he's just continuing to apply pressure to that crack in LGD.
Well, Wayless does get the blue buff, but LGD do find themselves about 1,500 gold behind 8 minutes into the game. Wayless going to scoop up a good amount of CS here. As Marin actually does have that Jerem's Fist built up, so a bit of early health. Try and mitigate some of that magic damage. Along with the Balmy Cinder and that cloth armor plus those early boots, he's very healthy and happy right now.
The really scary thing for LGD fans is that LGD don't play slowly. Even when they're behind and they should just, continue to farm it out. Waiting for Dandy. It's not going to check. Ships in the night.
Spidey senses. Not on point that time.
He's still hanging around.
What is Amy looking for here? Dandy's like, I suspect something. They can't see each other. Some weird dive situation. Now he's going to find him. Shoots him in the back. And that might be enough. Actually going to force the teleport out as well. PYL maybe looking for a play. Marin cancels, though. And that was the best amount of pressure I've ever seen Dandy apply without having to do too much. As Easy Hoon does get chunked up by Whalers, but Dandy's going to force him out of the lane. This is a massive Graves already. 2-0-3. Warrior Enchantment is awfully close, and that was a very strange moment.
Well, what this means on kind of a bigger picture is the fact that the top side of the map has lost for LGD, and it's now starting to leak down to the bottom side of the map. Dandy no longer has to apply pressure in this lane. There's not a lot of kill pressure for Marin on Maokai at this current point. The 2v2 up here is pretty much lost just because of how strong Dandy is and how far behind Amy is. So Dandy gets to have free reign of the bottom side of the jungle and try to impact and slow down Imp and PYL now.
Does take a detour, to the blue buff and give it over to Easy Hoon, who is struggling a bit in CS, but these 6 should help him catch up. He'll be about, actually still 15 behind or so, pretty close to 20. So that Whalers is doing a nice job farming up, but Easy Hoon has been moving around the map as well.
But the bigger point that we were talking about before is that LGD, when they lose, they don't lose slowly. I feel like at this point it's probably going to be a bit passive until we have the initial power spike from them or the very first dragon fight. And then LGD, they just make crazy plays. Say, okay, we're losing in the lanes. Let's get out of lane phase. We do see PYL on your screen right now kind of roaming around. He's been spotted out by a pink ward, but this is classic. PYL's roaming. He's looking to flash into mid lane and just try to make something happen.
Yep, because that's the best way to catch up. As far as LGD are concerned, just make some big plays. Imp, pretty comfy right now in the bottom lane. Still up in CS with the BF sword and the long sword. There's plenty of combat stats, even against 2 champions there in the bottom lane. Whalers with the package now, though. Might signal time for a play here from LGD. Look how confident Imp is here. Level 7. It's only going to get stronger. Extra XP, extra farm. The fact that Imp's able to consistently hold these situations is very impressive, but it's a big reason to LGD's success both this year and last year.
He does have to be very careful, though, because he doesn't have the assistance of a teleport. So Long has his TP up and available. Marn does not. I guess that's what the package was used for, clearing out wards in the side river.
Sure. Better than nothing.
Whalers is like when you think typically of the primary vision controllers in a game, you think about the jungler, you think about the support. Marn's not going to take that.
Yeah, he was losing that trade. He's like, I'm supposed to win. I'm not. Not this time, Long.
This tree is massive.
Yes.
This is like the Great Dooku tree.
Only growing stronger and stronger. Glacial Shroud now in the inventory, so you can kind of see where Marin's problems are with all the AD he's built up early to try and combat the Maokai, but another dive would be pretty straightforward here. Dandy goes bottom side instead, so no chance this time.
We do see that Amy is kind of shadowing underneath Marin, though, kind of protecting him as the creep wave is pushing in, so they are aware that the dive is possible and offering enough protection, so trying to slow the pace of this game down.
Marin, decent NCS as well, is behind, but still farming up as best he can. Lung's actually going to stay on the top lane for now. I thought he might book it and go by, but he's got plenty of pressure. That tower's actually taking a beating as well. It's good Winter's Bite from Caveman. Does tag Imp. Dandy lining up another tower dive.
Again, we have the teleport available, but this time Marn's TP is also off of cooldown. Here comes Maokai.
VT, though, are going to come in first. Lung going to go the long way around for this dive. The wave is going to start to get pushed in, but LGD already know what's up. It might be too late, though. Imp's going to try and turn things around, but Lung should make this dive very easy. Caveman picks it up with the ulti, and POL has to flash away.
And there's no reason for Marn to even respond. He was about half health. He's recouped a little bit over the course of that dive, but he didn't have his Meganar available, so that was just too easy for Vici.
Certainly was, and they make the smart play. Now 7-1 up in kills early on. 2,000 gold up already in this game, starting to really pick the pace up. Easy Hoon continuing to pressure there as well. Keep up in CS. As they'll just transition back into a dragon. Might even get a turret in bottom lane for their trouble as well. It's going to be close. Endless does have a wave with him, so it looks like he'll get it. And all of a sudden, the game's just going to open up. In fact, Endless doesn't even take the tower. He's just happy to leave it.
This is what we expect from Vici, though. They're very good at playing around objectives, playing around their cooldown windows, but they're not a fast-paced team. They average about 1 tower at 15 minutes and only 2 tower at 25, whereas LGD, they average 1 tower at 15 minutes and 4 towers at 25 minutes.
Well, there's Myron taking the first tower of the game, so you can see where the logic stands. Does get it with that extra AD, so benefits there from the early itemization. Has caught back up in CS as well.
The only thing that I'm really afraid of is Vici have this tendency that, yes, they get these massive early leads, but they're unable to snowball them quickly and close out games effectively and cleanly. If you go to 6 items against LGD, they've proven time and time again over the regular season that they will win that.
Yep, more than happy to take it, but like you said, LGD tend not to play too slow. This is actually a much more deliberate game than I expected from them, but have done well to sort of recoup the early lead Vici have and keep it within touching distance now. It's about 1,500 gold up. LGD have brought back some of that gold.
I know. The fact that the gold is so close despite it's 7-1 is pretty absurd and speaks a lot to the CS discrepancies.
Tower's also very valuable. Vici working on some, but don't have any just yet. It's going to slap down that pink ward. Myron's not very happy about it, but fortunately, can't do too much about it as Amy does just waddle back into the mid lane. He's going to cover this one while Wayless is maybe making a play top lane. I think he grabs the package and he's heading towards Myron's lane. You can see the ping. I'm on the way.
This is still going to be a 3v2 if Amy doesn't also rotate behind them. And obviously, Kindred's ultimate is going to be far more valuable in a dive scenario than Corky's.
Ooh, does spot again, though. Ward was clear, but they are going to go for the redive.
Okay, here comes Amy now. So possibly a 3v3 if LGD can hang on. But Vici not going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, wave not there, so bad time to go for it. Don't think I saw the pink ward, though. And that ward is not, obviously isn't going to see it. Doesn't get seen by the pink either, but good coverage there for Myron just to make sure he is safe from another potential dive. Looks like Easy Hoon's finished that Rod of Ages. Myron's just going to clear these out from under the tower. And there's Easy Hoon with his Rod of Ages. Looking happy, but Wayless, good clip there for that Trinity Force.
Challenge for the red buff now.
Dandy walks over to Ward. He's like, yep, we'll go. Amy's like, help me.
PYL's on the way.
Going to start a fight here. PYL could actually turn this around. Smite goes down. Dandy stole it, I believe. Now he's going to try and get out of it safely. Myron does land the slow from the boomerang, but ulti's over the wall. PYL looks for the hook, but isn't there.
Too little, too late. Again, just slightly behind on the rotations. I like the fact that Vici are still kind of manipulating and chipping away at LGD around the map. We used to call them the death by 1,000 cuts, and they've kind of retained a bit of that identity.
They have a bit. I think I've cut a 0 off the end.
Yep.
So more like 100
death by
now.
100.
Yeah, but
we can team fight now, boys.
Definitely not 10. Whereas LGD are like, just death. No paper cuts needed. Just swing a big sword around. Dandy, they're going back in for this dive. Trying to stay out of vision of the ward. Lung's going to set it up. Mini Knife's pretty squishy. Dandy's moves in, and oh my god, that damage.
Maokai. Twisted advance, free skill shot every single time. Works so well with champions like Graves, like Lee Sin, like Nidalee. Gives you that free Sonic wave, that free spear.
Ooh, hook actually on the Caveman, but Amy's here as well. Caveman going to put the door up, but I'm not sure that's enough to shake off all the damage. Caveman still in trouble, does ulti away. He's going to try and move in, but Wayless flashes in and steals the kill.
I mean, good job from LGD to get something back. They see that Dandy's on the top side of the map, so they choose to invade the bottom side, at least trade Marn's life and his tower for some deep vision. So frankly, just a little bit of miscommunication from Vici. Caveman, you can't be in that jungle by yourself right now because chances are Amy's going to walk into it.
Yep. Seems like Vici do have again. Still the lead, but bottom side looking good here for LGD. And the mid, I think, neutralized for the most part, at least as far as current itemization goes. They're both quite strong. Tower, though, going to look to get knocked down here. Strength of LGD's bottom lane once again showing. Endless, I believe, had the option to take this tower last time. But Dandy is going to cover, make sure the tower stays safe.
Pings are going down right now. For Vici, I thought that they may be setting up for a dive. Long has also walked back to the bottom side, but everyone's going to go ahead and reset their positioning on the map. Dragon will be spawning in 1 minute 50 seconds, so might as well recoup some free farm, then back, buy your items, buy your pink wards, head towards the Dragon around 30 seconds.
Time to chill out for a bit. It's Easy Hoon starting to take a bit more poke from this Corki. Definitely as Wayless powers up, Lulu's going to have to get items to try and keep up. And Sunfire done for long. Very happy Maokai. Oh, that's rude. Easy Hoon going to cancel that back, and Vici do take that tower. Dandy comes down to make sure it goes down. 2 for 1 now up in structures. Vici ahead by almost 3,000 gold. So it's starting to pick up some of that lead again.
Yep, that's the big thing, is the gold lead ballooning a little bit, especially, again, right before a 5v5 potential in a Dragon fight. See if LGD are still going to be their crazy selves and try to fight this from a deficit, or if they're going to let this one go and recoup farm in other lanes.
I have to think so. Is Imp trouble? No, Lantern's there. PYL there to save him in time. Imp, he always looks like he's alone, but Did have Thresh in the back pocket there. Endless and Caveman, though, with that tower gone, can start to play up a bit more. They want to shove out these waves, see if they can't take the objective. LGD actually will play for Rift Herald as well, while Vici are bottom side. So Marin's going to get that. That's pressure top side.
Yeah, full split push potential. Means that Vici have to be very diligent about their wave control if they come to this 5v5 Dragon. If LG are able to stall it out, you could get some decent chip damage on inner tower.
Well, this is the package, though. So LGD are looking to do something around the next major objective. Marin, they're going to get this started. Does have teleport up as well, but Long able to match the creeps pretty easily. Does good damage right now. As POL is actually going to wander top lane. See what he can't get done here, but that's happening. Denied.
By the kitten. No, mentality there, of course, is to gank the teleport. The reason why you do that is because they know that EasyHoon's TP is down, so they understand that by ganking this top side of the map, they know exactly what type of numbers disadvantage or advantage that they'll have going in.
Dandy also going to have some time to clear out red buff before he makes his way towards the Dragon area. Zeal back for Endless as well, so Vici looks like they got all their shops in. LGD just off some buys, but are going to be a little late to the Dragon Pit as a result. Although blue buff should go over to Wayless.
Unless Dandy steals it.
Very nice attempt. Doesn't get it, though, and Wayless actually has to address this wave. Dandy, I believe, has started the Dragon. He's at least clearing vision out from the area based on the current minimap movement, but Wayless with blue. Package is gone, but it's time to fight. Dandy, in fact, has started that Dragon.
They need to be very careful, though. Again, LG, you don't have any sort of vision into this pit, and now that Kalista has her spears, it should surely be a Vici Dragon. LGD are not going to contest.
Yep, I think smart play. Marin actually is top lane, pushing in aggressively, but Long is there just in time to answer that wave. And with the Iceborne Gauntlet now completed on the Maokai, will clear very efficiently. Again,
it makes so much sense. There's no reason to look for the full 5v5 of the Dragon fight. You know that you can split your resources and your strength for Vici. Hold on, Marin caught.
Maokai trying to kill. No, actually getting a TP out. No more cancels left. Damage is there, though, and that's enough.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate there for Marin. Tries to burn the TP. Didn't estimate the damage out of Maokai well enough, but this now pulls the trigger for Long.
Kind of a weird 1v1, but does work out. Very impressed by the Maokai as Vici leap into action now towards the mid lane. Imp bottom side trying to get some pressure down, but Vici going to get a free turret here after that kill on Tamarin. That's the outer ring now felled.
It's now the question about where do they go next and do they continue to apply pressure. Typically, because the Dragon is out of play, they have to be so careful here. Okay, starting the red buff.
I think you were talking to Vici, by the way. Amy actually looking for it, but now Amy going to get locked down left, despite not is enough actually to save him as the Graves ulti comes in. Damage there for him could be enough, but Long is massive there. Flashes straight forward. EasyHoon takes out Wayless. Im's going to get jumped on as well, and it's a massacre right now. Vici wiped 3 members of LGD straight off the rift, and Amy's dead. Easy needs one more auto. Hoon doesn't go for it. Never mind, he's got the snipe. Triple for EasyHoon.
Oh my god. Vici are just running over LG right now. And this isn't what we expected. We expected LGD. They're the playoff team. They've got their comfort champions. Come on strong. We know that Endless is going to be a weak point for this lane because he's matched up across from Imp, but it doesn't matter because Vici won the top side of the map, and now it's just rolled over the rest of it.
Did a little more than win, I think. They smashed the top half of the map. Let's look at the current scores. Vici going to take Baron at about 21 minutes. Marin going to try and run interference, but Kalista will take out the Baron. Marin's going to get absolutely smashed. He has no tank stats right now.
They pick up the Baron. They pick up another free kill. 14-2, and Vici in full control. Again, they're a point up, so they only need to win 2 games to move on to face Team WWE.
9-0 and 14 is the current combined score for Lung and Dandy. Dandy, the baton strategy has worked. Get someone ahead. Make sure the bottom lane's okay. Pass off to EasyHoon and Long. Everything is fine.
It's just amazing that they did exactly what we thought they would. Ganks the bottom lane. Long happens to be the primary benefactor of that, where Marn doesn't pull the trigger on TP. Imp, you cray.
Yeah. Trouble, actually. Danny just going to fight him 1v1. Imp's got no chance here with now 1v3. Does put the culling out, but really only need 1 CC. Danny going to move forward. Smites down. That's going to be a kill as Danny gets his 5th of the game. Long will die as that shutdown goes to Corky. Good gold there for Wayless. But still a 1-for-1 trade.
Raid boss down, however. Can Vici continue to apply pressure, utilize this Baron buff, and push down these inner turrets? Again, Vici tend to stall. I would love to see the evolution of their gameplay into playoffs.
Well, this tower is going to get melted down as Vici with the Baron buff and 2 AD carries make short work of it. EasyHoon also has the teleport, so options there for players. EasyHoon is actually going to make his way forward. Dandy gets out with the ulti. Endless is going forward. He takes out Amy. Now going to leap forward towards Wayless. The wild growth is there. Caveman straight in onto the Corky. Chain CC is wonderful. And Vici, they're going crazy.
The confidence there from Endless to pounce for, or not pounce for, but martial pose for, knowing that Easyhoon has his back. They're finally playing as a team, and Endless seems to be on the same page as his mid laner.
Again, the benefit really for Vici, I said this about Endless, that when he looks good, it's because he's running with his team. You can see the catch here on Salung, though. Great hook from PYL and the follow in there. 1v3, not even Maokai at this stage can shake that off, although it did take quite a while.
I mean, naturally, it's always nice that PYL can continue to be a playmaker, get them some something around the map, but it's almost too little too late. He needed to be unlocked earlier, and LGD needed to be making these plays about 15 minutes ago.
It's just so weird to see them lose effectively in the laning phase. But Vici not only did a good job early, they've transitioned excellently throughout that as well. They actually did get bought in heap during that replay as well, so just so much pressure and control right now.
It's so weird to see them lose around a TP, like not having the space to make the TP play, not pulling the trigger on the TP play. I mean, this is normally something that they actually thrive in. They are one of the first teams that brought the double TP meta to the LPL.
Well, Vici been running a lot of it. Easyhoon's a great teleporter himself with all those utility mages. And the Lulu still on point. It feels like the overall synergy is finally there. Wonderful last team fight there for Vici. They are insanely far ahead. In fact, this tower's going to go down, and it should be 10k the lead now for Vici Gaming. Looking to make this a real quick playoff.
Biggest thing is the fact that Long is so far ahead of the clock, and there's just, you don't have the penetration available to do any damage to this Maokai.
And we saw when 3 people tried to kill him, it even took a while and a summoner spell. Vici, though, just going to continue running through this game. LGD just can't do anything. Dandy effectively going to 1v1 him, but now Long diving in onto PYL. They'll fill him with spears. Endless is going to pull them out and take him down, and Wayless will fight at his fountain, but Endless is going ballistic. Double kill there for the Kalista. No, back into the fountain's enough for a kill, but it's not enough for a second. That's going to be an ace, and Vici Gaming going to swoop in for a win.
Vici just rocked LGD, and this was not expected. We thought that LGD, after their 7-series win streak, we're going to come into this swinging, that Vici were clearly the underdogs, but look at Dandy's face right now. That says it all.
Big smiles on the Vici boys' faces as they are going to take out the Nexus and take the game. LGD with a very swift loss. Vici Gaming looking amazing in that opening game.
And you know that has to hurt morale. You're already a point down. Now you're a game down. I believe that was, what, 24, 25-minute victory?
Yeah, and again, it was the Vici style we expected. Play to your strong side of the map, get things going, you know, slowly but surely, play the safe, consistent Vici style, and then just something changed.
The primary benefactor was Long. It then comes back to, we knew that Vici were going to gank Endless and Caveman first. They always do it. As you see the highlights on your screen, it's actually that initial TP play. So Dandy comes up here. Why does he gank his dual lane? Because there's more people to get ahead. Long, why don't you TP up here as well? I mean, then we can get 3 people ahead.
That's exactly what happened. They picked up 3 kills, started snowballing the game, and then from here it was just all Vici. LGD just couldn't get something together. Vici snowballed that lead wonderfully, and that's something we have been maybe critical of the team. They're good at getting ahead, but not necessarily good at getting further ahead or staying ahead. This game was not the case.
Stylistically, though, LGD are one of the best teams for LGD to face in that sense because, again, LGD do not lose slowly. They will not passively lose a game. If they're going down, they're burning in flames.
And that's pretty much what happened this game. Vici said, all right, if you want a game to be quick, we can give you a swift death, and that's what it was. These team fights were amazing. Vici was tower diving. There's like plays that are not being made around Baron. They fought people. I don't even know who this team is anymore, but Vici, an amazing first game.
I just really want to underline it, though, because I agree. I love what I saw from Vici. I'm glad to see them, you know, picking up the pace of the game, understanding when they're strong, working together as a team, especially the confidence from Endless there with Easyhoon backing behind him, you know, Marshall posing forward, having the wild growth available. But stylistically, LGD is like the best for Vici, because if Vici are just going to play very proactive, LGD will keep running into you. They're not like other teams like Team WE or Chaogu who will put the brakes on, pause it out, and just allocate farm into all lanes. So they're going to keep running at you.
Well, that's what happened. Unfortunately, they ran straight into the wall. Vici Gaming take the game there, and now 2-0 up in the best of 5. We'll see if LGD can run it back, because it's backs against the wall. We'll be back straight after the break.